Welcome to Lisa's Italian Kitchen on this glorious late spring day. As you know, I make a lot of different tiramisu, and I have made for you my classic tiramisu with the espresso and the calua, and then I made for you my summer tiramisu with limoncello, a delicious lemon refreshing taste to it. Today I'm making for you one of my favorite tiramisu, tiramisu con frutta di bosco, or berry tiramisu. So let's start with what we have here. We have 32 ounces of mascarpone cheese, which of course, as you know, is the base for tiramisu. To this, we're going to add eggs, meringue, vanilla, and sugar. And then look at these gorgeous berries. I have blackberries and raspberries. And we're going to layer the mascarpone mixture with the berries and ladyfingers dipped in. So with the classic, we use calua and espresso. With the limoncello, we use the limoncello. With this mixed berry or frutta di bosco, I like to use a creme de cassis, which is a raspberry liqueur, a berry liqueur, or you can use an ice wine like this, which is a sweet berry wine. Just remember, you don't want too strong of a liqueur. You want something a little more on the sweet side with a berry flavor. So a creme de cassis, a berry ice wine, anything along those lines. And they're plentiful. You can find them anywhere. So let's get started with our assembly. Andiamo. I've already beat my egg whites into meringue. So now, as I said, I have 32 ounces of mascarpone cheese. With tiramisu, there's no reason to really beat the mascarpone with beaters or a mixer. If you want to, that's fine. But I just do it by hand. So I have the 6 egg yolks from the 6 egg whites. Of course, we never waste anything. And these 6 egg yolks are going to go right in to the mascarpone cheese. And we're going to mix these very well. Now, for those of you who are wondering, yes, you probably already know, tiramisu is a dessert with raw egg in it. So that you're to be cautious about that. If some of you prefer not to eat that or have an allergy to raw eggs, tiramisu is not a baked or a cooked dessert. It is just an assembled dessert. Another thing I always like to point out when I make my different tiramisu for you is that tiramisu is a pudding. It's not a cake. So, whereas in many Italian restaurants in the United States, you'll go in and it's very dry, they serve it sliced like a piece of cake. No. Tiramisu, you will see from this, it's a pudding, and we're going to scoop it out of the dish, literally. Look at that beautiful mascarpone cheese with 6 egg yolks. To this, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of pure vanilla. Remember, we don't want any of that imitation stuff. You want the pure vanilla, that wonderful flavor. And we're just going to mix that in. Oh, this is just tiramisu with anything. With the limoncello, the frutta di bosco, the regular with the espresso. It's just heaven in a bowl. It's so delicious, decadent, and satisfying after your Sunday dinner. Now here I have 6 tablespoons of regular cane sugar. We're going to add that for the sweetness. Another thing about mascarpone cheese, which I know I've mentioned before, but it bears repeating, is that mascarpone is a neutral cheese. In Italy, we make it sweet and we use it for our desserts like this. And then we'll keep it savory and add it to pasta dishes. For example, it goes very well with pasta dishes with a mushroom sauce in the fall. Mascarpone is like the Italian cream cheese, if you will, but it's a little thicker, a little more dense. Okay, so now we have all of that in. Now what we're going to do is add our 6 egg yolks that have been whipped into a fluffy, delicious meringue. And this is going to make the mascarpone mixture so light and fluffy and delicious. So let me just use another spatula. Now, as I'm sure you all know, we try very hard when we mix our egg whites or meringue into dishes not to break the meringue too much, because of course the meringue is what gives the airiness and the fluffiness. So when you incorporate it into the mascarpone mixture, you just want to do so ever so gently, just until the meringue is incorporated. Look at that. You can tell already. Look at the fluffiness. Look at the airiness that those 6 beaten egg whites give to the mascarpone mixture. It went from a thick, dense cheese that you saw in the bowl before I added anything to this heavenly, look at that, light as a cloud mixture. And that's what we want our tiramisu to be. That's how tiramisu is in Italy. It's a light, delicious pudding. It's not a heavy, dry cake. So there we go. Now all of our mixing is done. And we're ready for the fun part. We're going to assemble. We're ready to assemble our delicious tiramisu al frutto di bosco with berries. So I have my delicious berry ice wine. I'm just going to pour it into a bowl because we're going to dip the lady fingers. So these are called savoiardi, and they're so delicious, crunchy lady fingers. I recommend not to buy the frozen ones. We have these in the frozen department too. They get soggy. So I like to buy these, happen to be Alessi, imported from Italy. I just found them in my Italian food aisle of my local supermarket. You can find them anywhere. They're nice and crunchy. They hold the tiramisu, they hold the mascarpone cheese very well without getting soggy. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a few scoops of the mascarpone mixture, and we're going to put it on the bottom of the bowl. Now, I like to use, this is called a trifle bowl. I know it's a little old-fashioned. People don't make trifles anymore. My mother was famous for her trifles, her fruit trifles, delicious dessert. But I just love this trifle bowl because it shows all the different layers of the berries and the beautiful colors. So here we go with our savoiardi or ladyfingers. We're going to just dip them and place. Now remember, we're not soaking. We're just dipping so they absorb the liqueur. We don't want them soggy. They're going to absorb the mascarpone cheese mixture in the bowl. So we're just doing this. I like to make a pattern so that there's a lady finger no matter where you scoop to dish out the tiramisu. So look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's just the mascarpone mixture on the bottom with the lady fingers soaked in creme de cassis or a berry liqueur. Now, let's take our berries and we're going to put these on top. So beautiful. We're going to layer the berries. This is the most refreshing dessert in the summertime or late spring when berries, look at these beautiful berries that I got at my farmer's market this morning. Just gorgeous. So we're going to layer the blackberries, and then we'll take a handful of the red raspberries and layer those. And now we're going to continue with the process with the mascarpone cheese. So here we are at our top layer. I've finished it with a layer of ladyfingers or savoiardi in the creme de cassis with the berries and a top layer of mascarpone cheese. And now I just like to top them with some beautiful berries. If you want to put a little powdered sugar, you can. I just like to artfully sprinkle some beautiful berries. There you go. Look at that beautiful Frutta di Bosco tiramisù, mixed berry tiramisù. Gorgeous. It makes a beautiful presentation at your table. Look at, you see all the layers. So yummy. And now, so of course, now comes the best part. We get to taste it. So this is what I mean by telling you, tiramisu is a pudding. You just use a nice big spoon. Look at that. I got a lady finger that's just soft enough, still maintains a little bit of crunchiness, but soft enough from the creme de cassis. You've got your mascarpone cheese, your berries. Look how beautiful a dessert that is on a summer evening or a spring evening. And of course, now I have to taste. How delicious. One of my favorite desserts in the world. The mascarpone cheese with the eggs, the vanilla, and the sugar has just the right amount of sweetness. You've got a slight crunchiness from the ladyfingers, but you taste that creme de cassis, that it's absorbed. Absolutely perfect. What a satisfying, decadent dessert after your Sunday dinner. So, from Lisa's Italian Kitchen, buon appetito. Tutti a tavola. Ciao, ciao.